Hi everybody, WaxFraud here, and welcome back to a brand new episode of the Hardcore Minecraft Let's Play series. Today I am back at my starter house in the basement here, just saying what's up to the pups real quick. What's going on, guys? We are going to be making another castle today. It is time to make an ice castle. I have some polar bears that I've had with me since episode 1, and they deserve a home. Just grabbing some honeycombs real quick. I really should make an automatic honey farm as well. These bees deserve a better home than this tiny little glass prison that I've built for them. It will happen soon enough, but there's a couple things I gotta do today. I want to show you guys what we built in the last episode, then I think I'm gonna make a mob farm today and WaxFraud, the giant deep slate castle that I have. For the most part, this castle is completely used up. I have the giant sector here. This is where my weaponsmith trading hall is. This thing is still running strong, getting me a bunch of emeralds as I can trade. There's 96 weaponsmiths in here, so I have plenty, ouch, I have plenty of iron to sell these guys. If I run across this bridge to the other tower, I have a sugarcane farm that is giving me as much as I could ask for, and all of this runs into the rocket factory. In the tallest tower, I have my creeper farm that gives me all the gunpowder, but I could use more gunpowder for stuff like TNT. This just automatically goes to rockets. And honestly, I don't want to use any of that gunpowder for TNT because I always need more rockets. But I do have two towers that I should be building, and I have this tall one right here that looks like it could fit a mob farm in pretty easily. And then there's this tower right here that could fit a bunch of different ideas, but I still need to brainstorm a bit. And the Enderman has been decorating. He's got to stop. We'll come back to this castle in a moment. I need to show you guys the castle courtyard that we built. I've never built a garden this large. Perch up here, kind of like these little copper golems, and this is amazing. It's so tranquil down here. This horse, for some reason, is just chilling up here. He doesn't even want to be in the garden. He just wants to look up above, kind of like I do. And I don't blame you, bud. It is awesome down here. This is my first time using mud brick slabs as a path for an entire build, and I am just loving it. Also, there is a small area over here that a lot of people pointed out. I completely forgot 2 large amethyst buds. And now I can officially call this build complete. Thank you guys for watching this last episode, though. I had a great time building a garden, and that fish almost died. Luckily, he flopped into the river. I always want to put fish in the fountains that I make, but they always end up flying straight to the tippy top of the water source and flopping out into the grass. But now we're moving back into another castle, and I see the Enderman has been doing more decorating. They really gotta stop. Why do they keep doing that? I need to fly back to my starter house real fast. We have something that we need to retire, something very important. The bow that I've been using for the past 26 episodes, David, is now being retired. He is about to die, and I can no longer mend him up. It's an infinity bow, so I can't even use mending, but he has 34 durability, and it's time to retire him. Thank you, David, for all your work, but now it's time to bring out Bowie. The exact same bow with Power 5, Flame, Punch 2, Unbreaking 3, and Infinity, but now with full durability and a couple times that we can mend him up. The 2 polar bears that I was talking about, though, this is Paul and Pablo. If you guys haven't met these guys, oh, geez, test rockets. But if you haven't met my polar bears yet, I have Paul and I have Pablo, and they need a home. But like I said, I will do that in a moment. They will be moving out to this ice spike biome right past Armadilliopolis. If we gave the armadillos a giant castle, then the polar bears can also get a giant castle, but it's gonna go in this ice spike biome. And I'm thinking most likely in this snowy area where it kind of just is a blank slate. I will for sure need to do a little bit of landscaping, though, to get this place much flatter. You know what? We can probably just start on this right now. Let's get all the snow out of here, all the dirt, all the grass, and all the sand. I'm not going to bring this down to sea level, but I will keep it about 4 or 5 blocks above, just so that the tower can feel a little bit more grand. When I'm at sea level, I want to be looking up at the path that brings me to the castle. It's going to feel pretty cool building in the snow. I've never really built an ice castle, so this is all brand new to me. I should probably start lighting this up before any strays come out. Also, creepers. They're gonna start spawning here sooner or later. Well, actually, our first enemy ended up being a zombie. Look at that full rainbow that we got over our town. This is beautiful. Before we get too much progress in with the ice castle, I gotta make a mob farm. We need more gunpowder, and you know, I could use the bones, too. I'm gonna fly over my gassed garages here and head back to my auto sorting system to get the materials. And wait a second, I see a wandering trader. What do you got for me, dude? Please tell me it's something good. He's got moss. Oh, small drip leaves. That's what I'm talking about. I will take everything you got. Don't try to get away from me. Thank you, sir. I will leave no witnesses to the sale. Get out of here, guys. Don't spit at me. There will be no spitting today. Pretty soon I need to build a bridge just to give myself multiple options to get over here. It would be nice to be able to walk if we wanted to. I'd probably still use rockets most of the time, but let's head over here. You know what? Speaking of building possibilities, I do need to get something built on top of the giant opening into the auto-sorting system. This is the only thing right now that is signifying that there's anything underground, and I probably could get something built that is a little bit more recognizable from far away. But that's for another episode. Let's get our mob farm materials. For the multiple layers, I'm just going to use a bunch of stone bricks. We might as well. We've got a bunch in the castle making episodes. I have basically unlimited stone forever now, until we inevitably build another stone castle. But I'm going to grab some spruce trap doors as well, so that the mobs have something to fall onto, and I need to make more. Didn't realize how low I was running. Let's make I don't know, 10 stacks or so. I'm wondering if shelves have the same function where the mobs think that they're going to walk onto a full block, but they don't. I'm not sure if the shelves do the same thing as the trapdoors in this case. Flying back home real quick, I gotta go to the barn. We gotta get some carpet from all of our sheep. I haven't been back here in a while. How much do I have? You know what? I actually don't need to shear any sheep right now. I could just use the existing wool. Let's turn all of this into carpet. That might be enough. It might not be enough. We'll just have to see. Let's get to building. I'm going to head to the tippy top. I always forget about these small ponds that I put at the top of the tower, and I should come back here more often to appreciate them. And I hear a sheep all the way up here. Is he in here? He is in here. What are you doing all the way at the top of the tower? We are so high up. Well, like I tell everybody else, if you got yourself up here, you can get yourself down. Let's head into the top level, though. This is just enough space, I think, to make a mob farm. I want to make multiple levels. I would probably want to build up instead of build down. So let's jump down to the main level right here. And okay, let's get the first level made. You know, I was thinking since we already made these corner pathways out of dark oak, let's not use the stone brick and let's use the dark oak planks. This right here is going to be the level that we swipe at all the mobs to get our drops. Or maybe we don't need to swipe at them. I don't really care about it being an XP farm. They could just fall from an extreme height to give us an automatic drop. I'm quickly going to make a 5x5 square with a 3x3 opening in the center. Usually it's a 2x2 for most mob farms, but this is going to be a custom mob farm to fit this castle. This level right here will just simply not be enough height for the mobs to fall, so I'm just going to pass this one. We'll just let this one serve as a small lookout space so that I can see mobs falling. Also, as you can tell, the continuity mod is not updated yet. I cannot wait for it to update. I built it over one block to the left, too many, and now I need to replace these. Sorry about the glass breaking noise, but I need to roll back what I built already. I'm only going up about 16 blocks right now, which is actually not even close to enough of fall damage for these mobs, so I'm going to go up one more level. And that's alright too, because we have the shroom lights out here for the lights on the outside of the castle, and this would just kind of cause some issues with the farm, so let's go up to the next one. Right now we're at 22 blocks high, so the mobs that are falling from this level, they might have a little bit of health left over. All I have to do is take one swipe at them, but everything falling from up here, they're most definitely going to die to fall damage. So in most mob farms, you do need at least 8 blocks of length in order for the water to just stop at the edge. This is not going to happen, so what I might need to do is create a small river myself. Meadows and mountains, the water just looks gorgeous, and that's perfect right there. Let's move up one more level so that the mobs can't hop out. I'll take one more water right here, and okay, so that's nice. Now we can have 8 of those in one section. We'll go ahead and cover this up, but I will leave the water paths open, and I need to keep the torches down there because I don't want any spiders spawning in between the sections. This will be an interesting mob farm to say the least. I've never really built anything like this. I usually just follow tutorials. This is my first time making one myself. Putting carpets down to minimize the spawn rate of the spiders here, and I think that might be enough. I don't necessarily need to put them in the back here. Now we just gotta get the trap doors in. I'm gonna put these in every direction just for a little bit of continuity, and we'll get that in on the back side as well. We'll just have to see how efficient this farm is going to be. I know it's not as big as a platform as normal mob farms, but we are going to replicate this all the way to the tippy top of the building. You know what? I'm going to take these off the back wall, and I don't know why. I think it would just be more efficient or just better for my head that we put it up against the dark oak. That way I know for sure that they're going to be walking off into something that they think is a full block. I'm thinking we're about to be able to make, I think, 8 or 9 layers. I won't be using these original layers anymore because I do need to go up 2 blocks here instead of 3. It's all pretty dark in there right now, but I see a spider spawned in there. I don't know how. I thought they needed at least a 3x3 space to spawn in, and I left everything 2x2, so I don't really know what's going on, but I am going to just close that up, and I don't think there's going to be that many spiders anyways. I don't necessarily need this to be the most efficient farm that I've ever made. But this is a completed mob farm. I will say this is looking decent right now. And while we made this, we have been getting some drops. Already a stack of gunpowder, which is exactly what we wanted. We got creepers falling, zombies, and skeletons too. Oh, there he goes. I closed this off with a little bit of nether brick and pale oak, and it's time to do a little bit more decorating. I really should get rid of this. The nylium right here is the source of the water for all the waterfalls for Waxteros. And all right, now that that is closed up, we can move to some decorations in here. Let's get some cherry leaves at the top. Time to bring a little bit of color to this build. Get some crimson trap doors on the floor. And as you can see, I've already added the hopper system down here, so everything is just loading up into this chest. This is nice. Pretty soon we'll have to go back to the nether to get some crimson stem, and we'll use some wall defense to chain to lantern action in here. I figured the blackstone and the oak would look nice in the corners. In each of these corners, I'm going to get some deco pots with some warped fungus in there. Then I'm going to use some pale oak for the desks on the walls, just because the contrast between the deep slate and the pale oak looks pretty cool. Get some grindstones right there, and we will get some of these stone cutters in the center as well. You know what? Let's get this out. Replace those with stone cutters and get a grindstone right in the middle. This guy must have feather falling on his boots. Actually, those aren't even enchanted. I don't know how he survived. Makes me think that we should get some soul campfires in here. Light this candle up. All right, let's take this out and hold on. I have some soul campfires with me. Get out of the way. And that will complete the mob farm. Finally, after 27 episodes, we have a mob farm in this world. Yeah, anything that falls down here, if they survive the fall damage, they will most definitely not survive the soul campfires. But we're getting some pretty good loot so far. All I really needed was the extra bone meal and the gunpowder. The rotten flesh, I'll deal with that later. Now we just need to let the mob farm do its thing while we fly around, and it will just continuously grab those drops. And I'm gonna fly over to the landscaping area. It's rained a couple of times as I've flown near it, and oh, yep, the snow is coming back, and this, for the most part, is pretty flat. You know what I should do? I should sleep. I do not want any witches, creepers, or zombies, or skeletons coming my way right now. Next time it rains or snows over here, it's going to be turned back into a winter wonderland, and as you can see, this is a giant lake in the middle of the island. We need to go ahead and get this place lit up with some torches. We're going to get rid of all of these spawnable ice blocks down here. Actually, wait, let's get down. Looks like I could take out some copper real quick before I completely cover it up. We can never have enough copper, and there's quite a bit down here. This is mine, thank you very much, appreciate that. During this cover-up operation, I did bring some lanterns with me, just because if we drop down here, we do want all of this to be unspawnable. So let's just get some lanterns down here so that we can minimize all of that. This looks like a nice little skating rink down here. We gotta get this lit up. I know some stuff is gonna spawn in the middle. And this tree right here is most definitely in the way. Sorry, you gotta go, bud. Thanks for the extra spruce wood. Now we finally got this covered up. All right, perfect. Now we have a lot more space to start this ice castle. Let's go to an ice spike real quick just to give myself a nice view. And yeah, I'm gonna have to make a retaining wall, get the grass up flush with the top of the wall just so I have a little bit of extra space. But for now, this is a good starting point. We got a polar bear out there standing on a lone piece of sand. Of course, the Enderman has been decorating out in the middle of nowhere too, but that guy will soon have a home on this island. I just need to go get some quartz. I'm gonna use a lot of snow, a lot of quartz, a lot of ice, and probably some warped planks. Maybe some warped roots as well, but we'll think about that in a moment. First, I just need to get myself some quartz from the Mason Trading Hall. These guys should be ready to go. I have been trading with them off and on the past few streams just to get some extra quartz for this build. But you never know when you're gonna run out, and I believe I will with this build. I think it's gonna be pretty large, and I'm gonna run out of quartz most likely. I don't know how many of the pillars I'm gonna use. I'm gonna use a lot of the regular quartz, the chiseled quartz, and the quartz bricks, but the pillars, they kind of have a yellowish tint to them sometimes. And those are probably gonna stand out quite a bit in this build with all of the bright colors. It's nice coming back here to get some XP from all these guys too. And you know what I just realized? All of my lightning rods have oxidized. I'll probably have to fix that. There's a lot of places where I think the oxidation looks good, like in between these acacia trapdoors. That was on purpose, but now there's just oxidation everywhere. Got a little bit extra right now, and I can jump down on the other side. Wow, I just ran into the bushes there, but I'm gonna grab some shulker boxes, run to the other side, and grab a bunch of quartz. We should have quite a bit. I have a lot of the block of quartz, and then we have the chiseled and the bricks as well, and this should be a good starting point. Right here where all my building materials are, I feel like this is kind of a nice center point for a giant circular build. So, you know what, let's just go here, and I'm gonna count out, I think this bottom circle is gonna be about 50 blocks wide. I've pulled up the circle generator, and this is going to be exactly 53 blocks, actually. So we're going to start with 5, and then go into 3, go 3 again, then we go 2, 1, and then 2. Then we go diagonal with a couple 1s, then back into 2, 1, 2, double 3, and back into 5. Connect this up on the other side, 1, 2, 3, boom, boom. Let's take a flight up real quick. I think the circle, I thought it was going to be larger, but it seems like, you know, that's pretty small. So let's go ahead and make another one that's about 75 across. We'll start off with 6, go into 4 right here, and then I'm gonna have to go off the ground a little bit. Let's go 3, and then 2, 2 again, 4 2s total, and go 1, 1, 1, and then we're gonna break outward into a little triangle shape. It's so much easier to count when you're on the grass. Then we'll connect these up, and we have to just take out all of the extra blocks. There's quite a few of them over here that we have to take out. The sunset looks amazing from over here. This is going to shine off the quartz so well. I love this. All right, well, I want to start building the walls, but I feel like I'm going to want to use a bunch of the regular quartz as well as the chiseled and the bricks. It might be hard to differentiate between them from far away, but up close, I will be able to tell where I'm building a little bit easier if I'm switching between the two. So I'll go in the middle with the quartz, every other one with the bricks, and then we'll move into chiseled, and we'll follow that pattern all the way around. And you know what? This is going to become a mob farm. I haven't really lit up anything because I wanted the snow to come back down, but everything in the middle, there's not going to be snow in here anyways. So let's get some torches from my shulker box. Let's go ahead and get this whole place lit up. I will not allow this to turn into a mob farm, and it already is. Zombie, get out of here. You do not belong. For now, the more torches down here, the better. It's going to be pretty sweet building this and just looking up every once in a while, seeing that pirate ship all the way in the back and the guardian farm in the middle of the ocean. We have one more quartz brick tower before we finish, and then one more tower of the regular quartz. We kind of have two choices. We could extend the island even further, or we could just take the rest of the island out, gather up all this grass, dirt, and sand, and I'm thinking taking it out sounds a little bit more fun. After this, we should have enough sand to make a complete shulker box with TNT. After making my new bow and 2 backup pickaxes in here, I think it is time to go get some more ancient debris pretty soon. Before we start building up any further, we need to bring this thing down to the ground. It would be nice if it were level with this ice. I can take out the grass that's level, but we're about to run into a bunch of stone. Perfect. Okay, so we're right below sea level, which means we can start taking out these. Let's bring this down. It doesn't need to be on the ice. It wouldn't be able to hold itself up. But if it were one below on the stone and the dirt, I think that would be much better. I have a feeling we're going to get a couple double chests filled up with stone, so I have a hunch the beacon is probably going to be helping us out quite a bit right now. Let's get this puppy built right in the center. Let's get some haste 2 running real quick. We got you, we got boom, boom, and boom. That is great. Okay, so now we should be able to insta-mine. Oh, this is just perfect. All right, this will go much faster now. Probably should take the grass out first, though, so we don't make some artificial caves for a mob farm. It is kind of strange being at eye level with all this ice, but we gotta bring everything back down at least 1 block below. Almost got this thing all the way closed up. Finally, here we go. Some chiseled right there. Okay, perfect. So, wow. All right, we have brought this island all the way down to sea level. The memory of this island will be forgotten as soon as we turn all of this into a frozen sea, but I don't know if I want to do that yet because I kind of want to add a couple more structures to the outside of this circle before we start filling it in. And I'll show you how I'm going to do that. It will be pretty easy if I just take 2 water buckets, Well, that's not right there. Hold on. We just take 2 water buckets right here and get water sources all the way around. This will all turn into frozen ice blocks. In the snowy plains and the snowy rivers, all of this will eventually freeze. But first, we have a couple pieces of siding that I want to throw on this building real fast. Also, real quick, I want to show you everything that we just collected. We have so much cobblestone, sand, and the grass and the dirt. We have a bunch. All of these shulker boxes are completely filled up with resources. This build is about to be a monster. I think I'm gonna have the same entrances going on all 4 sides of this. It's gonna pretty much look symmetrical everywhere. But first, I do want to make this front entrance that will lead into the first bridge. Let's get the quartz put right here. I'm gonna do the same thing where I alternate between each of the 3 blocks that I'm using. I'm only gonna go out about 7 blocks before I start making my turn. Jump down. Right here is going to be a giant door. I might make this about 5 blocks wide. But for the rest of this area, we're just going to bring it up almost as tall as the original circle. I did just lie to you guys. I'm bringing this entrance all the way to the top of this circle, and I think I'm going to raise this one up higher. Okay, not too bad. Let's land on the ice back here. We have an entrance. This has got to go on all 4 sides, but I do want some smaller circles to kind of connect to the front entrance as well, but at a lower tier. So I'm going to find the center point right here. We'll base our center of the circle right in this spot. Probably jutting out about this far, then we'll make a circle that's 23 blocks in diameter. Well, actually, that doesn't connect up very well at all. I do want part of this entrance to come out to the side, so we'll bring this out like this, about 2 more blocks, and connect back in, which means we're going to take this out and make the circle even larger. Now this one's going to move up with the same 3 interchanging blocks, but we are only going to build this one about 4 blocks lower than the original circle, because I want it to be tiered. I have a feeling this castle is going to take me at least a week to build. This is going to be a big one. Also, I'm still streaming pretty much every single day. I'm going to be gathering a lot of quartz and a lot of ice on stream for this build, so feel free to stop by anytime you want. It is twitch.tv/WaxFraud. I'm still streaming every single morning around 11 a.m. Central Time, so yeah, definitely stop by anytime. Let's fly into the sunset real quick. Wow, that is just a beautiful gradient. I'm never getting tired of that, but okay. You know what? That is kind of nice. We have a skeleton up here. You gotta... Oh, that's a zombie. You gotta get out of here, dude. Hold on. Boom. He was not phased at all. Get out. I am on fire. That was unintended. But I like this circle a lot. We're gonna have to put 4 of these in each of the corners and 4 entrances up. I'm already running a little bit low on quartz right now. I need more chiseled, that's for sure. So thank you, Masons, for chilling here, waiting for me to trade with you. Also, we still have about 30 different Masons that we need to name after Twitch chatter, so stop by and hang out if you want to get one named after you. Okay, so the moment of truth, this is not too bad. All right, so we have the depth coming out here with the smaller circles attached to the larger circle. I am liking this. No need for the quartz that we use to measure everything out. I will say, though, we kind of need an entrance, and this needs to be lifted up a little bit, so I'll probably bring this up about 3 blocks to make the entrance, and we'll get a staircase going down. I think for now, this will do, but we'll probably end up putting actual stairs there. And this would mean raising this arch by maybe 2 blocks or so. But now at the ground attached to the castle, we need to start working on moving up. So I'm going to take the first circle that I made and start just building up. This one's going to be about 30 to 40 blocks taller, so let's just move up a little bit, and then I'll make some smaller concentric circles going around the middle. I'm going to copy the circle that I made down there, go out 4, then we need to move out 3. Right now I'm just working on copying the circle that I made all the way down there. Gotta make it 1 to 1. Okay, so now this is looking much better. We have a complete circle, but it needs to go in about 3, maybe 4 more blocks to move up. This next circle is gonna be about 47 blocks across. Now we can just take out the extra blocks on this inner layer. Then we just start to close it all in. I'll get windows in eventually, but I gotta make these walls first. Finally making our way around the circle. Okay, let's fly out real quick. We have 2 big walls that we've made here. All right, so now we can connect these with some ice. Well, howdy, Polar Bear. What's going on? Hope you're doing well. I'm going to send you guys off to your brand new home pretty soon, but at first I got to take some packed ice from this little iceberg. That is so loud. I am turning that down so that nobody has to break their ears anymore. My goodness. We took out a couple icebergs, so I feel like we have enough to fill this entire layer in, and I really hope that the blue is a nice contrast with the white on the quartz. Before I get too much ice in, though, I think on this side I should probably start designing another door, kind of like we did on the ground entrance, but we're gonna have one that comes out onto this ice balcony. I think if we just come out 2 blocks, that'll do, and then we can move to the side. Get out of here. Hey, get out of here. Whoa, we got spiders everywhere. I think I want this entrance to go past the first layer and almost up to the top of the second layer, pretty much to where the dome is about to start. Almost to the top. Now we can make another arched doorway. Let's get this one 5 blocks wide. When we're done with this castle, there's going to be like 30 entrances. I'm going to continue building with the ice, but instead I am actually going to use the blue ice. It just has a deeper blue color that I really enjoy using. The packed ice just didn't have as much of a contrast with the quartz as I would have liked, so blue ice is the way to go for now. I'm thinking this will be the main block on a lot of these roof surfaces. Okay, yeah, this is pretty nice. I do like the deeper blue rather than the packed ice, although I do like how the ice in the river down there or in the lake does not have any snow covering it, and now that we have packed ice and blue ice up here, the snow is starting to cover. Well, I guess the snow won't be able to stick once we get the lighting up here, so we just gotta be patient. Now that the main structure is up, it's time for a little bit of detailing on the outside, and I brought Roger over here with me all the way from Crystal Cove because I'm gonna need some help. This guy is ready to work, and I have a lot of work for him. I'm gonna get some extra rings around this middle area here, so I'll count up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and we'll start here. I'm gonna copy the same block that I have on the inside so that it all matches, except in the middle here, I'm just gonna use a bunch of the quartz bricks. Then I'm gonna have this separated by just 1 block, and I think instead of quartz right here, I'm gonna put in some sea lanterns. Squeeze it in between these blocks to take them all out. This will be a nice, refreshing change of pace from all the quartz. We have so much quartz in here right now. Hold on, can I get this? There we go. Ooh, yeah. Okay, so that's nice. I also want to get some windows in. I've been trying to figure out what the sizes of the windows are going to be. And I think I'm going to have some smaller windows right here with some larger windows up top and even larger windows above those. Before we get too many details up top, I kind of want to work my way from the bottom though. So let's make this area just a little bit larger by bringing it out with the stairs. I'll bring all this out by 1. Now that looks much nicer. I think this being super straight doesn't necessarily work. Let's go ahead and get up here real quick. I'm gonna count, I don't know, about 5 blocks up real quick. And we'll take out this row. This is kind of a strange way to be working right now. I'm really getting in here, but I need to replace all of these with some stairs to bring it in 1 more block. Then I'm gonna hop on Roger real quick. I hope he can fit down in here. Can he? He absolutely can. Okay, perfect. So let's get down a little further. This is where the stairs are. I'm bringing all of these in by 1 block up about 6 blocks. Now that I have that first row, I can release Roger. He's just barely fitting in there. Well, now it's starting to look like a real column. Now we can just take the stairs and go directly under to bring it back out by a block. Back away, sir, please. I'm trying to build. Now for the roof, I'm going to move in with some of the warped planks and warped stairs. I'm hoping that this ends up looking good. Hold on, I have to bring this inward by 1. I'm going to move up 1 plank and then 1 stair until we reach the center. Does that even look good? Well, you know what? That's not too bad at all, except I did miss a quartz block right here. There we go. I am going to remove some of the quartz from the inside, though, because we could make an arch and then fill the back end with some diorite. I feel like the slightly grayer version of the quartz would work well sitting right behind it. Now that this part of the roof is touching this back ice area, and it's all getting covered up with snow, you're not even going to be able to tell that the ice is here pretty soon, but what I'm going to do is get a slab right here going all the way across. I want to light up the pathway on this wall. We'll probably have some wall defense to chain to lantern action eventually, but for right now, we're going to start off with some sea lanterns on the edge. We'll get all these covered up with a slab. It's nice to have the lights hooked up to the towers, but I think we could have some more lights down below, so I've brought some extra sea lanterns to go on top of these slabs down here. I did reshape the top of the tower just a little bit to make it a little more pointy instead of more roof-shaped, because I think I'm going to put a roof in the center of the 2 towers. But first, we should light this up down here. Let's get some lanterns. Working our way into the center, we should get 2 big arches around the door. We'll go 3 across right here and take any blocks out later if we need to. Now let's work on a bridge real quick. It's going to be about 3 blocks suspended in the air just so it's hovering over this ice. We could get a straight bridge going out from each cardinal direction, but I'm thinking about hooking these up in a larger circle later. We'll actually turn this into a door. And I'm gonna get some slabs going across to connect it to the towers, and we can get a stair under that. Okay, I like this door, but I'm gonna bring this entire wall back just by one. We can start a roof on these stairs right here if I move up. Let's go a slab right there and move over with the warp slabs. So we have slab, block, let's go slab, another block. Let's get the stairs involved here. We'll go stair, upside down stair. Yeah, this is nice. Okay, let's get it lit up. Just a chain and a lantern will do for now. Then we gotta fit the rest of the warped walls in here. Lap these up top, then we can get the stairs reaching the middle, but this will be a block. Going out to the end, we'll place that backwards, then we can get a chain into another lantern. This is about to be very well lit. The longer I work on this build, the longer I think it's gonna take me. I have a lot of small details to focus on. We'll slab up the corners to make it a little taller. Also, I like slabs on the towers so that the snow doesn't decide to fall here. I'm adding trapdoors all the way up here, actually. We could use more. With all the slabs and the stairs on the side, we'll end up bringing this entire build up by about one plank. Then at the top, we'll use a prismarine wall, moving into a warped fence, into a lantern. We just need to take this back wall down now. Looks like it went down about 9 blocks, which is great. And we'll start moving back into the middle, but I need some space right there. Then we can put the chiseled and the stairs back. Let's do upside down stairs, moving towards the center. Get some slabs right here, move back down. We're gonna have to take some more blocks down in the corner. Let's bring this up by 1 and see if we can move some stairs out for a little bit of light on our way into the castle. Drop a lantern right there, and okay, not too bad. It's a pretty sweet castle entrance, but we could bring this back a little bit further for some more light. Throw some stairs in the corner, and then we'll move back with some shroom lights. Okay, now we should have a nice looking entrance with light everywhere. This is great. Not too bad at all. It's starting to really look like an ice castle now. I feel like we could just move back to the second tower. I'm gonna do something similar that we did at the bottom where we brought it out by 2 blocks and brought it in by 1 block. I think we'll just extend this up here. Start with a base that moves about 20 blocks tall. We'll wrap some stairs around, and let's see real quick. How are we doing? Okay, that's a start. We could also get an arch right here. Let's move down, and then we'll get an arch around the diorite. Not too bad, except I want to take it down 1 more block. That's better. We get a lantern in this entrance, and all the way up top, same thing with the chain hanging into a lantern. Now, it would be cool to make smaller arches coming straight up from this one, so let's bring this out, bring you up. We can meet up at the top to make some windows, but then we should bring this area back by 1 block like we did down below. Take these right here, and ooh, it actually already does go back by 1 block, so that makes it kind of easy. We can just match this wall. I like the shape of these windows, but maybe we just get the back replaced with some diorite. Again, we'll just keep it the same as we did on the towers below. I love having the lights right there. Now nothing can spawn on this little ledge, but if we move down, I think we should bring it back in with a row of stairs. We're gonna leave 1 space in between. Now it has a lot more depth for sure. Ooh, that's nice. Okay, we'll bring this arch down by 1, and we're gonna have to create new pillars up in the front. So let's jump up here with the chiseled. Make this 7 blocks tall, then we'll go up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 into the bricks. All right, now we can just get some light down in the corner with some prismarine anytime we're touching the ice, and we'll get an end rod on top of that warped fence, just like we have it around the corner. Now we can pretty much take all of the torches around here that are out. Not looking too bad so far, but we could get some extra windows right here, and behind those windows we could get some shroom lights. Let's get 4 stairs to make a coin shape, and okay, not bad. I have a small idea, but it involves me wrapping some of the quartz around the original layer of light that we had on the wall. Move up 3 blocks here, and we can round it off with some stairs. Roger is kind of in the way of this one, though. Wrap this guy all the way around. I'm gonna take this out. Let's bring the chiseled all the way up to the top. We're gonna have this rounded off, which means I need to take some of these blocks back. All right, let's make some new windows in this house. We'll round these off. This one will be a 3x3. Actually, let's make it a 4x3 instead. That looks nice. Looks like we are making a face right now. This looks like a skeleton. That was a little bit smaller. Okay, there we go. Now it's the same size. Yeah, we're making a Halloween type of build right now. I want to make a huge window up there, but before that, let's make an even larger window. Bring this out right here. We'll make it right there, and then we'll bring it back in. That is perfect. Okay, so let's just surround this thing. So that's not too bad at all. Now I feel like, yep, we just gotta get some more shroom lights in here, and then we'll be good. Now we really got a skeleton going on with a very shiny forehead. I feel like right now all I gotta do is just build this up. Kinda has a Bart Simpson haircut going on right now. This is looking kinda goofy. Alright, so maybe we should just get a small ledge to bring it out a little bit. Kinda looks like he's got a headband on now. Let's break through here and bring it all the way to the top. Bring the bricks down to the lights. Well, actually, let's take that out and cap it off with a stair. Then we'll go down right here and get another stair. We should also bring it up on the sides here. We'll take these out and we'll get everything replaced. Make the Bart Simpson haircut go a little bit taller around the corner, and we'll start to get some stairs on it. Wait, let's bring this up right here. Round it off, and boom. This is looking nice, except in the corner, I'd like a little bit more light up here. I don't want anything spawning on this ledge, so let's get some diorite walls, we'll get some pale oak fence, and we'll use some end rods. I have an idea. I just want to bring everything out by one. Let's get a row of stairs around here. Using the stairs, we'll bring it out with another ledge. Then, you know what, let's go up right here and get another ledge of stairs. Alright, so this isn't looking too bad now. Okay, not too bad. We could make the arch up there, or we could start with an arch right down here, and then we'll bring this up. Okay, let's see what we're looking at. Not bad, but let's get it replaced with some more diorite. I cannot wait to see what all this looks like. Get some slabs in the center, bring it up by one, and we'll get some stairs so that we can hang a lantern and a chain. I've started working on a couple of towers right here that are going to end up touching the dome that goes off, and the dome is most definitely going to be made out of warped blocks as well. Gotta make sure we have a perfect circle going. Let's drop it back by one block. Then we'll move up just one more. Now we'll get this to snake up 1, 2, 1, 2, then 1, 2, 3. Then we'll get 3 more to top it off right here, and voila, we got 4 towers. Okay, so this is turning out pretty good right here. Yeah, this looks like a skeleton screaming. That is wild, but I'm glad we got this tower taken care of. Now we can move to some of these side towers that I'm trying to start working on. We have these, and instead of the diorite going inside of this one, I'm gonna have the diorite right on the outside. Then we'll jump up, get an upside down stair going out. We need to get some slabs out to reach the center. Okay, so that should make the build look a little bit different. It kind of looks like a little mustache. I want to use this as another entrance into the center, so alright, this will be pretty cool. This is a winter wonderland for sure. It's snowing again in this world. It is always snowing. Keep this corner lit up with the same colors. Then we could get some extra windows down the side. I was thinking maybe 4 blocks tall. Not a bad window. I like the iron trap doors. Let's get this replaced with a slab though. We'll hang some chains down, and then I want to hop back in here. I have some ochre frog lights that I want to use. Then we can drop back down and get some iron bars in there to cover them up. Now let's get some quartz stairs separating. This is how I'm going to determine how tall this tower is. It's not going to be as tall as the one in the middle. These will just be maybe about 10, 15 blocks smaller. Within all of the darkness, we have these side towers here that are providing quite a bit of light. And the tower cap that I made out of the warped wood, this is looking a little small, so we got to beef it up a little bit. I'm going to get some prismarine walls into some warped fence, into some end rods. You'll see these are going to become a staple in this build. I'm thinking we add some trap doors up the side. Then instead of slabs on the corners, we're going to get some stairs in. Get one more row of stairs, then we will move back into the prismarine and the warped fence. We'll beef it up once more with a little more stair action moving into the trap doors. Then we gotta move it up one more block and get a nice point at the top with one final end rod. And there we go, we finally have 8 points at the top and 8 on the bottom. This castle's looking crazy right now, except I'm thinking we could add a little bit of extra color on the sides. It's looking very white right now. Maybe some tuff would look good. I'm going to start by adding some tuff along the outside of the top rim. Then we're going to bring it in with some sea lanterns one more time. Then the third row will be the same as the first. We're just going to cover it up with all of the tuff bricks. Oh yeah, the tuff makes it pop quite a bit. I like that color contrast. Now we just need to get the dome worked into the ceiling. So let's work with the warped planks again, and we'll go on the 45 route. By 45, I'm talking about the innermost circle. We have 53, 47, 45, and then 75 on the outside. We'll move in a little bit to connect the dome to the tower caps, and then we can just move up. Slowly but surely, we will be making our way inward. Honestly, these domes are one of the most fun parts about Minecraft in general. Every single time I get done making one of these, I'm just astounded. Moving up, all of these layers are already getting covered in snow. It is always snowing, I swear. Oh man, it's night. We're gonna get a lot of stuff spawning. Get out of here. I only want to do one more layer, and then I'm gonna leave the top open because I need to bring Roger inside with me. Finishing the corner, and that should be plenty of room for Roger to get in and out. Let's take a look and see what we got here. Not too bad. I really like the tuff ring. I'm gonna get a little bit of tuff on the bottom just because I think it looks nice, and I'm gonna get some sea lanterns in here as well. This will definitely provide more light along the ice, and it'll also melt the snow that falls right next to it. Let's get up here. Let's start some lanterns. We'll go up on the post, we'll get the warped fence, and then I'm gonna get a copper lantern that's gonna oxidize. Then we go into the lightning rod, we'll get that right there. Then we'll go over here, let's hop up on top, lightning rod, then a chain, and then a lantern. Once all this oxidizes, it'll all be blue and it'll be looking good. Now it's time to get Roger involved again. He's gonna help us out big time, so I need to get up to the top. We're gonna lay some more tuff bricks around the edge. And we'll dip down below. We're gonna get some more tuff lampposts, but hanging upside down. And these will all move in the same fashion from longest to shortest. Let's go ahead and take out this quartz ring that we made initially when we were building up the wall, and we'll get it all replaced with the tuff bricks as well. And you know what? We can even move it in further. Let's take out this entire wall. We'll go ahead and wrap this the entire way around, and okay, perfect. Let's grab some of the quartz that we just broke. Then up on the top ring, I'm gonna move the tuff in, and we're even going to have to take some of this quartz out right below the snow. Then we'll get some more of the tuff lamp posts all the way up top, except we're not gonna use any chains, more likely just sticking with the lightning rods and the lanterns. Nice. Okay, that's a lot of color popping out. This is great, especially coming out into the side towers. Just makes it all feel a little bit more connected. Now we need to work on the windows, and I've brought with me some stairs so that I can make the door entrance and the windowsills. They'll pop out with some stairs, and we'll get the shroom lights behind them. That is stupendous. We have light on this lower level. Let's see, can I get up top? We're gonna have to make a larger window right here. Let's make a big 4x5 space, or 4x4 is good, and we'll get the stair in on each side. And again, we'll light this back area up with some shroom lights. The walls look way more complete now, except, you know what? We gotta get some tuff along the bottom. I think I'm gonna replace this quartz right here with some tuff. I'm not sure if I'm gonna leave this house right here quartz, but for now... Oh man, I'm just breaking everything. But for now, we'll leave it quartz. We'll come back later with some more tuff if we need to. This is probably gonna pop so much more. Ooh, okay, much better. Let's wrap this dome up with some tuff. I'm gonna climb all the way up here. Hold up, there we go. Jeez, we have a long way to go. But I'm gonna hop straight to the middle. We're gonna get some deep slate, and I'll probably have to finesse it in down there, but we're gonna get some deep slate all the way to the top. Let's see real quick. Let's take this out, and then we will break you, and you to get boom, boom, boom. Okay, now wait just a second. I might have an idea. Let's go ahead and take out what I just put in. I'm gonna have a couple strips here, maybe of 3 blocks wide. Let's go ahead and get the sea lanterns in the center. This is a pretty big dome, so I just wanted to see how this looked. What are you doing all the way up? Get down. Oh, see ya. I have a feeling this is going to look much cooler. Diagonally, we're gonna have some diorite, pale oak, and end rod spikes. Kind of looks like a mohawk going all the way up, but that should be in nice contrast to these sea lantern rows. And still with barely enough space to let Roger in to work inside. I got a couple more things for Roger to do. This dome is enormous. Might end up getting some trapdoors on here so the snow doesn't keep falling on it. And down we go. Roger's gonna fit just fine. Alright, let's get to work in here. We need to hang some lights. Just like how we did on the outside, we'll get a row of diorite going down, but we're gonna go down in the middle on the inside. Then we'll move down with a pale oak fence into an iron chain into an end rod. We're gonna move all the way up. Now these little end rod lanterns might be enough to light up the warped roof, but we might get another chandelier here for the polar bears. Well, that's not too bad. We can get that 7 more times around the middle before we get a chandelier, and I want to be able to enjoy these lights from down below, so I did start making a packed ice floor. And this is actually 3 layers deep because I plan on making some small rivers. But filling this whole thing in is probably going to take a while, and I'm probably going to have to take a couple more trips to get more packed ice. There is so much room to cover in here, it is insane. This ice castle turned out to be way larger than I thought it was going to be. This is just enormous. But with a little perseverance, we can get all this ice in. Let's get all this closed in here. It looks like the Enderman has been doing some work. Dude, please stop doing that. It feels good to finally have a flat surface to be able to build some icebergs on. I think this original ring that I made is going to have to go. You can still see the snow on it from before we covered it up. But it might work out better if we get some packed ice instead of using the quartz to move into the center. Before we work on that though, I'm gonna get some tuff around the ceiling. The ring looks pretty good, but it's a little dark without the sea lanterns. Of course, we're gonna have to add more sea lanterns. It only makes sense to get some end rods or possibly some copper lanterns hanging. We can take out these end rod spikes if we have enough light here, but let's start in the middle. Let's bring it down with some warped fence, more lightning rods that are going to oxidize, more chains that are going to oxidize, and the lanterns that are going to oxidize as well. I'm hoping this looks good. We're going to have the lanterns staggered all the way across, going up and down to the other side. Everywhere down here looks great. It's all lit up. Roger's kind of in the way, but we got to continue building some railings so that we don't fall down. This circle is huge. This railing is so long it's going to take 3.5 stacks. Since we have a bunch of the copper lanterns hanging on this level, I feel like all the way down here it'd be appropriate to get some more end rod spikes. These things do light up the hallway pretty well, and they're kind of out of the way in the corner. I like the way the first level's feeling right now, and I matched it with 2 more railings up at the top. I feel like if we start to move up the wall a little bit, we gotta bring the shroom lights back. Let's get some note blocks on the outside of any of these. Then I'm gonna get some spruce logs, because you will find spruce trees next to where you find polar bears. Going back and forth between the spruce, note block, and shroom light might look okay. The spruce logs look a little bit nicer in between the note blocks when they are stripped, so might as well just strip them all. Alright, not looking too bad. Let's move up to the next level here. I'll work on this in a moment. If we move up towards the ceiling of the second level, we're going to get some more note blocks that are going to be surrounding the shroom lights. All of this shroom light is from the windows that we created on the outside, so I figured this would be a fun way to cover it up and make it look decent. Then we can work down below. I'm going to get some slabs worked in instead of the blocks. And same thing down here, we'll move in with the note blocks. Moving up to the top here, I do want to have a bubble column that takes me all the way from the first balcony to the third up here. Just need to make this look a little bit nicer as an entrance. That's nothing some more quartz stairs can't handle. Now to actually build the elevators that are going to take us down. Okay, so that is good. And then we're going to move into these little corners that'll take us down. I'm wondering if we just break through down to the ice, will that work? I mean, that would be kind of cool. We gotta make sure the water is going to fall directly in there. Sorry about the ears bleeding. And we definitely don't want the water to be able to spill out anywhere else once we turn it into a water source block, so I'm gonna get some chains in here. I'm pretty sure polar bears will not be able to go into this, and if they can, I'm gonna have to build a door. Their hitbox has gotta be bigger than the space between these chains. We just need to bring them up even further from the first balcony to the first ceiling. So now we have a perfect way to get up to the second balcony. Let's get a little bit of light back in here, and let's drop the water. Should be good all the way down, and I don't think the polar bears can get through these chains. I really hope not. I guess it's just something we're gonna have to deal with when the polar bears move in. Soul sand in, can shoot us all the way up to the top. Okay, that's perfect. I love how the chains just hold the water in, but don't actually touch it. It's so cool. We're gonna build ourselves a way to get down too. So we have 7 different bubble columns that we're building right now. Now we can ride all the way to the top where the second floor is, and we have some extra chains right here that we need to set up so that we can get up to the 3rd balcony. I'm gonna need Roger's help for some of these. I think I could get down a little bit lower. Let's go there, and then we can connect the chain up to the tuff. Slap this all the way up to the ceiling. Well, that's not where that's supposed to go. Hold on. Boom, 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 and then boom. We'll get some chains up in here, and then we'll get the sea lanterns put right behind the tuff. If we don't put the sea lanterns back here, the water is just gonna spill out like it is right there, and okay, we should be good now. We have lights absolutely everywhere in here. Let's jump down to the bottom and see exactly what it looks like from down here, and this is majestic. Now it's time we bring the big guns. Got some shulker box filled up with some packed ice, and we are gonna make some custom icebergs so that the polar bears aren't living in such a flat landscape. We'll start right here. These aren't gonna be too big, but they're gonna be big enough to make a difference. Then we're gonna add a little bit of snow up top so it looks a little more realistic. Perfect, and that's all we really need now. I kind of just want to add like 20, maybe 30 more of these. This is probably the most relaxing part of the build so far. I kind of like how the beacon goes all the way down the center, but I'm going to remove it right now and then just take it underground. This one can be a little smaller since we're not building too much anymore. We only need haste 1. We'll cover this up with ice so it's completely hidden, and we'll get an iron bar in there. Boom. Wait, nope, just haste 1. That's all we need, nothing too crazy. Ice pretty much insta-mines anyways, which is what we're gonna do right now. Sorry about your ears breaking again, but I'm gonna make a little bit of a river. I have a feeling that we're gonna need some more frog lights for this one. Keep doing your work, buddies. Keep on doing your work. Gotta get some water sources made so that there's no flowing water. I don't want that noise really all throughout the build. We gotta figure out the lights that are gonna go under this build. I feel like the river could be what lights up the floor. Pretty happy that I put that 3rd layer of ice down there right about now. Just seeing what some green frog lights would look like down here. Ooh, this is much nicer. We're not gonna need any torches pretty soon. We can start taking these guys out. Trying to look around, I pretty much have rivers flowing everywhere except for right here. We gotta replace this with some more frog lights. A couple more bits of ice to take out. Pretty sure I hear skeletons under me right now, which means I may have let some water go loose and take out some of those torches, but as long as we don't go under here, we'll be okay. Up next to these smaller icebergs, I believe this is the last of the frog lights. We have, wait, done it. I'm pretty sure everywhere has been lit up. I'm just doing one more rotation. We just have a couple of small areas right now to get some icebergs up against this back wall. That way the polar bears feel just a little bit more immersed, and we'll get some more snow blocks up here too. I left a bunch of small openings near each of the doors into the middle that's covering up this beacon just to give myself more of a pathway. And I think this turned out pretty great. We might need some bone meal to get some grass in there, and then also some salmon. The sun is rising. It seems like a good day to go fishing right about now. I believe I already spotted some. These are some big boys right here. You're coming with me, you are coming with me, and then we need one more. You're coming with me. Most of these rivers are connected, so the salmon's going to be able to swim anywhere they want. Hopefully they don't flip and flop out of here so I don't have to get too much salmon. Maybe something that'll help them stay is just a little bit of foliage down here. We'll make it feel like home a little bit for the fish as well as the polar bears. But we have a couple things to do before I move them in. Just a few more things. This is looking wild now. This is a natural landscape that we have down here, and the polar bears, I think, are gonna love it. Hey, there's the salmon. Looks like a couple more places that I missed some bone meal, and then we should be good down here. On each of the balconies, we do have a lot of fencing without any foliage up here, so we're gonna get some of these spruce saplings in each of these corners. Moving outside, there's some smaller towers that I had built over in the corners, and I think we need a little bit more tuff, so let's get a ring around the bottom. We'll cover that up with some sea lanterns, and then on top of that, we're gonna get some tough slabs. That should bring out some of the ice right here. Some of it's already melting, And I want to drop down below on this outside circle. I think it'd be nice to get some sea lanterns down here as well. We'll go ahead and get all of these covered up with some quartz stairs and wrap that back all the way around. This will be the one spot on the build where we do not have the sea lanterns wrapped up with the tuff. It's going to be the quartz down here. Jumping down, not too bad. Okay, I really like this. I feel like now we've done enough to the outside, we can actually start to bring this pond in. Whoa, that's not what we wanted. Let's go down here and let's start making some water sources. All of this should freeze right up to this building. Oh, we got some right here that we need to restart. After this, the building should just be getting touched by ice in every single corner. The faster we get them up arm out of here, the faster these zombies can leave. Listen, buddy, you're never going to be able to get to me as long as I am placing these water buckets. You might as well just stop trying. This is honestly very, very satisfying. I love doing this. Wow, we have a whole party here coming to watch us right now. Now, seriously, before any polar bears move in, I gotta finish this outer bridge that I said I was gonna work on. The entrance is looking mighty fine right now. We just need to start connecting all 4 of these sides. So I've brought this out about 19 blocks, which means this circle would be 125 blocks all the way around. Let's see what we can do. We're gonna start with 7, move into 6, then we got 4, then we have 3, 3 again, then we'll move into 2 5 times, and we got 1s all the way across. Let's see, okay, that's decent. It's far enough away from the base of the castle that we can work here. Feels like this guy's been getting closer, but I think he's just been there the whole time while we used to be all the way over there. You'll be able to live here soon enough, my friend. Very, very soon. So this is all looking wide enough, but I think we need it to be held up on some diorite stilts. So I'm going to build these up from the gravel. Not all of the ice is formed yet, but a lot of it has, so we should be able to build on top of a lot of that ice. I don't think we need to bring it up too tall. Let's just get some soul campfires here and there, and we'll wrap them up with some warp trapdoors. I've made a small entrance in the front to be able to take the polar bears up into the castle. I'm pretty excited because eventually this bridge will be able to be connected to everywhere else in this world in each cardinal direction. We'll start moving down the line. I want these to light up the entire path so I don't have to use any torches, and I think every 6 or 7 blocks should do, or at least right in these corners. Slowly but surely, this entire stilted bridge will be lit up. Now, let's just get some stairs down here so the polar bears can get up a little bit easier. And I thought I just heard a polar bear, like, right behind me. Ooh, I just went under the ice, and he's right here. You are number 1. Let's bring these guys. Oh, we have 2 more back here. We have number 1, we have 2, and then 3. I'm hoping they can make it up these stairs. Come on, buddies. And, alright, I might have to make an ice path. Please don't fall. It might be easier just to take 2 at a time. Looks like they're in, though. Alright, guys, enjoy your rivers, enjoy your salmon, enjoy your custom icebergs. Gotta get this guy off his sand and bring him in as well. And you know what? We gotta get Paul and Pablo. The first 2 polar bears we ever had in this world. Also, the first 2 pets we ever really had. Paul and Pablo were the first 2 animals that we ever ran into. Episode 1 was for sure an adventure, and it's nice to see this guy enjoying the iceberg already. By the way, if you guys want a polar bear named after you on the Twitch channel, feel free to stop by anytime and start collecting them channel points. Paul and Pablo, it's about time you guys get out of here. There's Paul, there's Pablo, we should be good. Come on, get on out of there. We're gonna miss you over here at the starter house, but it's time you go where you belong. Come through the bridge. Can you guys fit? Yeah, they can fit. It's kind of cool thinking about how none of this stuff was built here when I first dragged them through this valley to take them back to where I was building my starter house. Now we have an entire world built over here, and you guys get to see it all on our way to the ice castle. We'd move a little faster if these guys didn't get stuck on just about everything, though. That guy just got stuck on a dripstone. Come on, Pablo. That's one of the smallest items in the game that you could possibly get stuck on, and you still managed to do it. I hope these guys can't take crazy... Oh, never mind. No water damage down here. Okay, never mind. They did take damage from the ice. That was a big jump. You guys did not need to jump that far. I was trying to just drop you in the water. The ice castle is looking crazy from over here. Paul and Pablo, say hello to your new home. It's about time. Oh, he wanted to get off quickly. Pablo is now let loose. He's going around, and Paul broke the thread. There you go. Be on your way, Paul. Enjoy it. Let's make sure these guys can't leave by putting up some fencing right here. We'll get some of the spruce down here as well. Pablo and Paul are already stuck. Hold on, what if I move that snow? Yep, there you go. Sorry about that. What if I move this ice? Are you gonna be okay? I'm gonna pretend like you didn't get stuck right there and you guys were just having some fun. That makes me think there's probably plenty more spaces out here where they're getting stuck. Flying out here real quick over... Oh man, that ocean monument, we still need to take that out, but we gotta find some extra polar bears, and I know there's some back here. We got one right next to our transportation, and we have one on this island over here. You guys are coming with me all the way back to the ice castle. We have another little guy right down here. He can come home with us. Now, I see a couple more of them down here. Let's take these guys home, too. Got 3 of them. Let's grab a 4th. You guys see that ominous tower in the distance? That is where we're going. Come on up. Wait. What are you doing? Don't go under there. Everybody follow me. Come on, let's go. One at a time. I had to let the other 3 go, because this one doesn't know how to get up there. There we go. Now we're all good. There are so many polar bears with me. I think this warped fence ended up looking pretty good on top of the quartz and in between the diorite with the campfires. I think I'm gonna have to take these out real quick. Let's move in, guys. I've been letting all of these polar bears in through this door. I'm gonna take these guys to the back end. Try to fill up the space a little bit, although we do have polar bears that are already over here. I'm so glad these guys are passive. This would be insane if they were hostile. I also brought 3 more salmon. Let's get you right here. Oh wait, that's not right. Let's put you right there. And one last salmon can go all the way over here. Jeez, this is a huge salmon. I think this one that's swimming directly into the ice is even bigger. I think we got enough polar bears in here now. There's about 25 of them, maybe a little bit less than 30. But this place is flourishing with life. We have fish in the rivers, and we have polar bears at every angle. This guy can't figure out how to go down the stream. Buddy, you're gonna have to figure this out. Wow, this place is looking incredible. We have so much space to fly around. We have lit this thing up at every corner, but the top dome does need a little bit of a cap. For the first time in this build, I think it's time to pull in the quartz pillars. I said earlier this episode that I wasn't going to use them, but I do believe that they would fit up top. Quick inspection real quick, just making sure there's no place any mobs can spawn. I believe we are in the clear. Let's pull up with the pillars and, I don't know, maybe go up about 11 blocks. Then we can start playing with some roof designs. I actually was planning on doing a dome at first, but I'm thinking maybe a witch hat sort of pointed tower would be cool on top. Look at Roger all the way down there, he looks so small. I decided to cover the edge up with some of the tough slabs while using some of the sea lanterns up here to light up the bottom as well. And lighting up the very top, I'm gonna get some prismarine walls, some warped fences, and then we'll jump up and slap in some end rods. I thought it'd be pretty cool to use 2 different types of roofs, so the first time it comes out is with some warped stairs, and then we use the tough. But it's very witch hatty. I said I wanted to make a witch hat, and we kind of made one. There's a couple things we need to fix right here. Let's get you replaced with some tough bricks. I really like the blue ice down here. It makes it shimmer quite a bit now that we have all the warped in, and I need to get rid of all of this snow right here. I almost forgot that the blue ice was even here. All the snow's been covering this up for so long. You know, it might be faster though. Let's use a bucket of water, and there it goes. Okie dokie, it's looking pretty complete right now. I can't really think of any more details that I want to add. I'm gonna leave the beacon in. I think it coming through the witch hat is pretty cool. Shroom lights are looking good. The sea lanterns are looking good. I really like the diorite and the quartz on each other. Checking out the entrances to the interior, they all make it seem pretty grand, and you know, I don't think I'm gonna end up putting a chandelier in there. If I do, I'll test some stuff out on a live stream pretty soon, but for now, I kind of want to leave it open so I can view it from these top balconies. Also, when you go all the way down to the polar bear view up, this is pretty cool. Maybe we'll just take some time to appreciate the dome before we put in some sort of frog light chandelier. My favorite part might be these private little balconies that we have all the way up top. Anytime we get some builds out here, I should be able to view them. Pretty soon in this valley in between Armadilliopolis and the Fisherman Trading Hall, this is going to be having some buildings. But that is it, you guys. Thank you so much for watching this episode. I can't believe we finally have a polar bear sanctuary. This is actually my first build in any type of snowy biome, so thank you guys for watching. It is a little similar to the Guardian farm. I really do like this Guardian farm build, but we used a lot of different blocks, more warped wood instead of prismarine. Also, there's clear similarities with all of these quartz towers. But again, thank you guys for watching. I really do appreciate it. I do have a question I want to ask you guys. Real quick, what type of villager jobs would you like to see added to the game? I'm hoping to see some sort of snowy villagers. Also a beekeeper villager. I'm looking for a beekeeper villager for sure. I also always thought it'd be cool if there were warrior villagers, like ones that were wielding some swords. But anyways, let me know what you guys want to see added, and you guys, thank you so much for watching. I really do appreciate it. Make sure to take care of yourselves, do something nice for somebody. Thank you for hitting the like button, and I will see you guys in the next episode. Bye!